The GAN 14 has been upgraded to the GAN 14 MagLev Pro, but it still has a lot of issues, so let's talk about this cube. Okay, let's focus on the main upgrades of this cube, and number one is that the cube is now more pop-proof, which is a great improvement because I was surprised how easily the GAN 14 actually pops. I don't think that it is acceptable in 2024 that a cube pops, especially when it's this expensive, because even cheap budget cubes does not pop. But this cube can still pop after the upgrade if you have the loosest setting, and I think that is kind of weird. Why do they even include a setting where the cube is so loose that it pops? So either they should make it even more pop-proof or just don't include those settings. Straight out of the box, the cube is super flimsy and extremely fast. One positive with this cube is that the auto alignment is out of this world. I have never seen anything like it. When I tried to, put it in a position to try corner cutting, even at like 45 degrees, it would just auto align. And that also makes the corner cutting on this cube absolutely great. It is very effortless since it simply auto aligns. When I made the cube tighter, which is a must for me with this cube, the auto alignment isn't as good, but it's still very good, and the corner cutting on this cube is great. The second big update with this cube is that you now have a tool to remove the caps. This tool is actually really cool and it's super nice and it's very satisfying to use. You simply push a button and the cap comes loose. And I really enjoy using this tool, it's really fun. But, a big but, it's so pointless. I don't know why they added this. Now you need to bring this tool with you to a competition if you think you wanna adjust it there. If you lose or break this tool, you have big problems, because it's not only that you can't get it up with your nails, you can't even get it up with like a screwdriver. I really tried and I almost broke the centerpiece. So you do need the tool to actually open this cap. The GAN 14 already had caps that did not come loose very easily, so I don't think that this actually adds anything. But you know what it does add? It adds to the price, and this cube is even more expensive than the previous version. So I really wish they didn't include this and just had it like normal. Okay, let's talk a bit about the adjustment system before I go on to the biggest problem with this cube. The adjustment system is just like the previous version, and I still have some issues with how this is made. So number one, it's a bit confusing that the elasticity and the normal tightening has different scaling. So number one is the tightest on one of them and number one is the loosest on the other. Another issue I have with the adjustments, the scale just feels misaligned, so that the loosest setting is way too loose and the tightest isn't tight enough. I want something in the middle, and the magnets has the exact same problem. It comes with the strongest magnet setting, but it's not even strong, it's more like a medium. And then you have weaker magnet settings. So the weakest magnet setting is basically almost like a non-magnetic cube, you can barely feel it. Another con with this cube is that you need a tool to adjust the magnet strength, and you need to adjust all the edges on both sides. So it's not like you adjust one edge side and the edge is completed. You need to do everything twice. Other companies have already solved this issue, so I don't get why GAN can't just copy that to make it faster to adjust. And you might think to yourself, can't you make the magnet feel stronger with the magnet rods inside the corners? Because on this cube you can actually adjust the magnet strength on the corner, which is really cool. But the problem is that the cube comes on a normal setting and the rods you can switch to are weaker magnets. So obviously I didn't even try that. I like stronger magnets, so I can't do anything with the magnet adjustment from out of the box. Especially since this is a cube with a lot of magnet and a magnetic core. Why can't you just have a strong magnetic feel in the cube if you want to? Okay, so let's get into the big problem with the GAN 14. It is really the same as the previous version. This cube is so locky. I get a lot of lockups, and I mean a lot. You can just see in the unboxing where I try to do some sexy moves here. This is so not acceptable, I don't get it. So I've been critical about the GAN 14 before, and I've had some GAN fanboys, let's say, that come up to me and say I'm wrong and you just don't have the turning style for this cube. Then how come I don't get these lockups on any other cube? Like, I can pick up a $9.99 cube, like even cheaper, and I won't get these lockups. Like, there is no question about it. If you ask me, do you want to use the GAN 14 or the RS3M 2020 at this competition today, I would pick the 2020 because I will get much less lockups and thereby better times. And I think they could have just sold it with a ball core because, yeah, that's my assumption, that it catches on the inside. Because it's not like the corner cutting is bad, it has great corner cutting as I have mentioned, but when I solve, I just do a T-perm or whatever and it just stops. Like, the cube locks up from the inside, I don't know why, and I think it might have to do with the rods catching on the magnets on the core, and if you just had a ball, they wouldn't be able to catch. Maybe they're saving the ball core for the GAN 15, I don't know, they had a ball core in the GAN Megamix, so it's not impossible. But if it is the case that GAN 15 with a ball core comes out really soon, this cube is almost a scam, because you need to pay more than the GAN 14 and it still has these big issues. Regarding the speed and the feel, the speed of this cube is incredibly fast. Like, when you get it out of the box, you'll try to do a U and it will automatically do a U2. After setup, I used a lot of weight 6 to make this slower and just more controllable, and it still happened at some point that I accidentally did a U2. So this cube is extremely fast to the point that I actually think it becomes a negative, at least for me. If you love fast cubes, you'll actually love this feature, of course. And when it comes to the feel, it feels absolutely amazing. Out of the box, it was kind of meh. But after some heavy lubrication and some topping with our new Cubos Boost, this cube actually feels amazing. And when I just sit and do slow solves with this cube, I really like the feel. It's kind of fun to do. But as soon as I go fast, the lockups takes over, and that's the main issue with this cube, which means I'm never going to main it. So I think this is the most negative review I've actually ever uploaded. So if you like me being honest, please remember to give it a like. Daniel was sick today, but his scores will show up here on screen so you can see his opinion as well. You actually did see his solves on screen as well, and he helped me set up all the scores for this cube. So don't worry, his opinions is also in the end score here. And I asked him if he wanted to add anything to this review and he said no. So for me, this is definitely not a recommend. I would wait for our review on the GAN 15.